Hi guys, Zero One of One here with a video. This video is going to be a little different than my other videos. Hope you don't mind too much. In this video I want to be talking about different ways to make money. Something that I think all of us would be interested in learning about. And I can kind of go over some of the stuff that I have tried doing and some other stuff that I'm looking at. And hopefully all together we can come together and make some sort of I don't know, conglomeration of information. We'll go with that. Alright, so first things first, if you know anything about cryptocurrency mining, you probably understand what you're looking at right now on the screen. So if you do not know about cryptocurrency mining, if you have never heard of things called Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin, Litecoin, any of those things, basically cryptocurrency is a decentralized currency, meaning that it does not require banks at all. It is secured via cryptography, and the ledger, I guess, that keeps track of who's sold and bought and whatever, is kept by people like me, miners, all over the world. And each one has an exact copy of the ledger. So you can imagine if someone tries to put in a false ledger, then you've got all these other ledgers that say, hey, no, that one's not right. You can see how that false one isn't going to make it anywhere. So it's very secure, it's decentralized, it is worldwide. A little less so in China, but that's another story. So here's what I've got. Right now I have 2.5 computers. I say half because I don't have the GPUs for the third one yet. Computers built for mining specifically. Right? That's all they do. I don't use them for browsing internet or anything like that. They just sit in my basement and they mine coins all day long. That's all they do. So right now I have 2 workers. Each computer is considered a worker. I am currently making about $3 per day per computer. And this is just kind of projected payout. I don't know. This fluctuates, so you can't really pay attention to this too much. This says that I'll get paid next week. When I refreshed it last time, it said I was going to get paid this week. So that all depends on what your profitability per day is. All right, so you can see that miner 1 is currently mining Equihash. This one is also mining Equihash. Equihash, Lyra, there's a ton of different ones. These are just different algorithms that the computers can use to kind of take the steps of the cryptography. Wow. To solve these incredibly complicated problems, and make Bitcoin work and all these other cryptocurrencies. So, yeah. I don't want to go too much in depth here, but okay, so this is what I'm making. I have 2 computers making $3 per day. If we go here, these 2 computers, without the GPUs, cost me $677.92 to make. I am currently using 3 GeForce GTX 1050s and 1 GTX 1070 in each system. So with this, so if I were to take this, now this is not accurate as of today, this was made last week, so these may not be completely accurate. I think this one is a little lower, this one's a little higher. But basically about $30 with the GeForce 1050s per month. And then this is, about $70, something like that. I don't know. Hang on. Let's go back. Okay, so it says that I'm going to make $152 per month. So it's a little over that. This, once again, bounces around a little bit too. if I'm making $6 a day times 30 days, this should be $180. So once again, don't pay too much attention to this because it's not entirely accurate to what you're actually going to be making. I can tell you down here, this was my most recent payout, which was last Friday, of about $40. So that's just with me mining in here. They paid me into this guy here, and then you can see that there's actually enough for 2 payouts here. So this one was 101. This is 223. So I've actually had 2 payouts, and the payout before this one was the week previously to that one, and that's pretty much when I started mining. So I'm getting payouts about every week, and then in order to get a payout, you need to make at least 0.01 bitcoins through your mining. Probably didn't want to close that. Oh well. Anyways, okay, so let's go back into here, go over the money. So just to build a system without the GPUs, that's the power supply, motherboard, hard drive, processor, RAM, case, and the operating system, was about $678, right? If you add in this cost here, so that's 340, we'll go 350 plus 420, so that's $780. So you add that onto there, and it's about $1,500 is what I spent per system. Now with this, I did these assuming that we're using all the same GPUs in here. So this is the cost per GPU, the profit that you will make per month per GPU. These ratios you don't have to worry about too much. This is the return on investment in months for just the GPU. So the GeForce GTX 1050 will pay itself off in, let's see, 8.65, so about 8.5 months. If we go over here, the GTX 1070 will pay itself off in about 10 months. So when you're looking at just this return on investment for just the GPUs themselves, the GTX 1050 is the way to go, followed closely by the GTX 1060 and then the GTX 1070. The 1080 Ti, it's just way too much money for that. I wouldn't buy those right now. I would wait for something else better to come out and then buy them when the price drops. So we are taking into account the system cost for this 650 watt system. I've got the cost in here for a 750 watt system, but for each of these, they should be okay to run on a 650 watt system, so that's what I used. Except for this one, these 3 I think I've got on the 750 system, yeah. So it's like $20 difference, whatever. Okay, so with 4 GPUs in each, you come up with the total cost. So with the system and 4 1050s, it's about $1,200. If you get 4 of these in the system, it's about $2,400. Now, this return on investment here is for the entire system. So if you had this full system with 10 GTX 1050s, it would take about 21 months to make your money back. The best one here is actually the 1070s with the full system. You'll make it back in about 15 months. Now, that 15 months is important. I'm going to go back to it when we cover the next portion of this, all right? So, mining on your own computer with, a standard 750 watt system. Now, you can make this cheaper if you make your own case. And you can buy these things used, whatever. You can, this was all for new stuff. So if you buy stuff used, you can reduce your costs, your return on investment will be shorter. But I bought all new stuff, so I'm looking at about 12 months to get my return on investment for the entire system per computer system. All right. Now, this is with building your own computers and running them. When you do this, you have to worry about power. You have to worry about keeping your GPUs cool as they run because they will generate a lot of heat. You have to worry about making sure that they stay up and running all the time. If something breaks, you have to worry about fixing it. If one of the video cards crashes and it's unrecoverable, then you're out that money and you have to buy another one. So you're out that money as well. Now, with that in mind, we're going to go over here to Genesis mining. Now, if you are unfamiliar with cryptocurrency in general, you will have no idea what this is. If you know even a little bit about cryptocurrency mining, odds are you know about Genesis mining. Now, what this is here is they build the systems, they maintain the systems, they run the systems. They sell you mining power, right? In mining or mega hashes per second or hashes per second, whatever. And then you will pay an upfront cost. Let's actually go to dollars here. So with this right here, if you did a 2-year contract for Ethereum mining, it would cost you $90, and you will make 3 mega hashes per second. That is the power that you are buying over that 2-year period. So now if we go, was it this one? No. This one? No. Where was it? Well, I don't know where it went. There's a lot of stuff that I want to cover here. Here it is. Okay. So if we had 3 mega hashes per second, you are not paying for power. You are not using any power. So then if we calculate this, if you pay that $90 per month for the 2 years, it's a $90 upfront cost for 3 mega hashes, you will make $4.18 per month. It's not very much, right? So what we need to do is take your $90, right, that you put in there, divide it by the money that you will make each month, and you will have a return on your investment in 21 months, 21 and a half months. So keep in mind that this is a 2-year contract, right? So you will have an additional 2.5 months where you will make this money as pure profit. So that'll be like $10 that you'll make on your $90. So it doesn't seem like much, right? But then again, you only invested $90, so you shouldn't expect that much out of it. If you were to go for something a bit more extreme, if we bump this all the way up and you buy 500 mega hashes per second for $14,000. Now, keep in mind, not everyone's going to have this money, but let's just run the numbers. So 500. So with this at 500 mega hashes per second, you will make $697.84. Okay, so now we're going to take your $14,000, divide that by your monthly 8357. Right, yeah. All right, so once again, you will make your money back in about 20 months. Okay, so in that 2-year period, you've got 24 months. So you've got about 4 months where you're going to be making $700. So if you do the $14,000, whatever, then you will actually end up making about $2,800. So it seems a little better. Now, what you have to do when you're looking at this is you just have to assume that you are sort of correlate the cost here with buying a computer system, right? So if you spend $90 on a computer system, odds are you're not going to get a very good system. If you spend $14,000 on a system, you're going to get a much better system. So if you do this, keep that in mind. Now, with each of those, it was about 21 and a half months to make your money back, 20 months to make your money back, right? From the 3 mega hash to the 500 mega hash. Now, with this, a lot of people are wondering if this is a scam. And I think I can prove that it's not. Now, as you can see from my dashboard, I have not invested any money in this. So you see nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. So I am a completely unbiased person on this. I have no money invested in it. I've got no reason whatsoever to sell you a bunch of bullshit, right? So I will just tell you what I think is going on here. Now, when we looked at this return on investment, right? If I did the GTX 1070 system, the return on investment would be about 15 months, right? If you went with the Genesis mining contract, your return on investment would be 20 months, right? So for that extra 5 months where your hashing power is basically making money, Genesis Mining is pocketing that. And that's what they use to pay for their technicians to make sure that everything is up and running as smoothly as possible. So let's say that instead of investing $2,400 in a system, let's say that they did $50,000, right? So this is their initial investment into building a bunch of stuff. Now, if they built a bunch of these systems here, right? So if the system cost was $2,417, right? We'll just make these dollars because we like dollars. All right, now then the number of systems that they could potentially build with this. I'm going to be doing a bunch of math here in Excel just to kind of show my point, all right? So they could build 20 systems, okay? Okay, now, with those 20 systems, each of those are making, let's see, so 1070, so let's say that they're making about $160 per month, okay? Now that's one GTX 1070 is 40, so you got 4 of them in a system, and so 4 in a system. So you are making $160 per month per system, okay? So now this total comes out to $3,200 that they would make per month if they were to build their own systems, okay? All right. Now, keep in mind that they will pay off their stuff in 15 months, okay? So in between the time that they pay off their stuff versus what they have to pay you for the hashing power is about 5 months. So in that 5 months, we'll just call it extra time. Okay, so they're going to make $16,000 in those 5 months, right? So that's profit on their end. Now this is just off of a $50,000 investment. So in the time that it takes for them to pay off their systems with their own hashing power versus the 20 months that they have to pay you back for that 5 months of difference is the profit that they make, okay? Hope that makes sense and it's not too confusing. So now this will go to pay for their techs, whatever other expenses that they might have. Now keep in mind this is just a $50,000 investment. With Genesis Mining, I'm sure that they've done something like $10 million of investment. Is that enough zeros? That is not enough zeros. Put in one more zero. All right. So now let's say that they do $10 million of investment. If we take that for the system, so 2417.00, and then we see how many systems they could build with this. Sorry, my throat's a little dry, so. And we want this under general. So they could build 4,137 systems with that $10 million, all right? Now, we're going to take that 4137, and keep in mind that each of those is making $160 per month. Multiply that out. All right, so now what they are making per month with all of those systems is $661,920. Now, within that 5 months to where their hashing power will pay off the cost of the systems versus the 20 months that they have to pay you back for your money, that 5 months, remember, is their profit period. So in that 5 months, they will make $3,309,600. Now, this money here goes towards, the buildings and the technicians, fans to keep everything cool, air conditioning systems if they need it. So that's the money that they have to work with on top of paying the electricity just to run the systems and paying you off for your contracts, right? So with all of that out of the way, this is the profit that they are making with the $10 million investment. So do I think that this is a scam? No, I don't, because they are making a lot of profit. Now, granted, I don't know how much of this gets taken out for, taxes and all that other shit, but I'm assuming that it's a pretty good chunk of money. And it probably allows them to keep on building these things, which is why every so often they come out with, hey, we've got more stuff, buy our stuff, buy more hashing power. So I think it's because they're making enough money with their profit that they can buy more systems. So this is Genesis Mining. This is a very slow return on investment, but you should make a profit. Keep in mind, though, that what you can buy here, it is a static amount of hashing power. Now, when they go into the affiliate stuff, when other people use your codes to get 3% discount on their purchases, whatever, then you get hash power upgrade corresponding to your tier, right? So as more people use your codes and buy more of their hashing power, they will give you a little bit more hashing power based on your tier, and then that whole tier thing is here, right? So if you're here and someone uses your code, you'll get a 2.5% bonus to your hashing power. If you're up here, you'll get a 3% bonus. And then, of course, they hide these things, though you don't see how much of a bonus. But I think in the end, it's like 5 or 7% is like the maximum that they'll give you as a bonus each time someone uses this. So, I mean, if you can get enough people to use your affiliate codes, then you should be able to keep up with the difficulty increase of the mining. So you should still make a profit. And then, of course, if you're super into it, like I see some people on YouTube, they're just like, oh, use my code. This is the best thing in the world. Best thing in the world. Use my code. With people like that who are pushing so freaking hard for you to use their codes, they're getting a lot of hash power by doing that. And of course, Genesis is making money on each of those sales as well. So the more people that they have buying their hash power, the more profit they make. So in the end, them giving you this little bonus to your hash power helps both of you, I think. So yeah, Genesis Mining, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a scam. I think it's pretty legit. I've done some of the math, just using some of my own logic. I could be completely off here, but I think I'm not. So I think this is how they're actually able to do this and pay off the contracts and yet still make money and be able to build more systems. So I don't think it's actually a pretty good business model for them. And if I had the startup cash, I would probably try to do the same thing. All right. Let's see, next thing. YouTube. So this is my channel, 01 of 1. Now this is the lifetime analytics. If you have your own channel and you're, a partner, affiliate, whatever the fuck thing, and basically you're making money on the videos you upload, you will be able to see this right here. So you can see that in my lifetime, I have had people watch 30,256 minutes of my videos. I've had 12,600 views over all of my videos. Likes, dislikes, comments, shares. It gives you a bunch of stuff. And then this right here, your estimated revenue. Now, keep in mind this is since the start, so 5.5 years worth of my channel, and I have made all of $3.07. But I'm not like a super YouTube guru. I'm not like pushing like tons and tons and tons of videos out. I don't have any viral videos. I'm not begging people to watch my videos and thumbs up and all that other shit. I ask you to do it. I'm not going to tell you to do it. Basically, I just put out videos for stuff that I'm interested in. If you also happen to be interested in it, then that's great. So this is another way to make money. If you are good at making videos and you put out really good videos and you get lots of subscribers, lots of views, this could potentially be a good source of income for you. For me, because I'm not that serious about it, you can see obviously it's not really paying. Alright, so that's that. Let's refresh this and see what we're at now. Now, keep in mind that when you look at this, and anyone can look at this, just go to this website here. I'm not going to post it down below. Just look in the video, pause it, type it in, whatever. I don't think it's that important that you look at this. If you want to, go for it. So you see my profitability per day went up a little bit. Payout is still next week, not this week, so I don't know. It's whatever. I also don't have this computer here mining as well. I have a 750 Ti and a 1050 or a 1060 in this computer. I think I've got a 1050 in here. So this adds a little tiny bit of mining power to my overall pool of power. So when this is mining, I might actually make enough to get paid this week. All right. So next thing. If this is too slow, if you don't want to be building your own computers, if you don't trust Genesis Mining, and if you're not that into YouTube and you don't think that you can put out super viral videos that'll make you tons and tons of money, but you do want to make money relatively quickly and you're okay with a relatively large amount of risk, here you go. Penny stocks. Now, this guy right here, I'm sure that you'll hear a lot of different things about it if you investigate and do some Google searches. I have personally watched a lot of his videos. He actually has a YouTube channel here where he gives out a lot of really good information for free, absolutely free. Now, granted, as you're watching this, he's making money off of the views, so he's making money anyways, so I don't know. But this guy right here knows what the fuck he's talking about with penny stocks. He has rules that you need to follow. If you don't follow them, you will lose your ass. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. But if you're willing to listen to what he tells you, follow his rules, learn his lessons, then I believe that you can be able to make money off of penny stocks. Now, from a personal standpoint, the guy's a dick, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The guy's a dick. But when it comes to penny stocks, the guy's a fucking guru. You need to listen to what he says, do what he says, and if you follow his rules, you should make money. All right, so my own personal experience here. When I was learning penny stocks, I decided to give myself $4,200 to basically just piss away, to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And there are two ways to learn how to trade stocks. You can do paper trading, which is where you make an Excel spreadsheet and you pretend that you buy this stock and you pretend that you sell it at this price, and then you add in all of the other fees, whatever. And basically, you do trading like that, right? You're not risking any of your own money. And it does give you, a good amount of information, and it kind of gets you into the groove of doing this. But if you want to learn and you want to learn quickly, and you're not afraid to lose money, do it with real money. Because when you are looking at a stock and you buy it down here and all of a sudden it's going way the fuck up here, your heart is just freaking pounding. And you're like, oh my god, do I keep it? Do I sell it? Do I keep it? Do I sell it? And it's ridiculous. When you have your own money invested into it and losing or winning becomes real, you will learn so much more, so much quicker. I guarantee it. Now, of that $4,200 that I gave myself to piss away, that's what I did. I pissed most of it away. I was not listening to some of his rules. The most important one is to cut your losses, right? That is the number one lesson, cut your losses. So when I'm looking at a stock that's looking like this, right? And I bought it kind of up here and then all of a sudden it starts dropping, right? What happened with me is my heart fucking drops down to my stomach, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm losing so much money right now. But then, in the back of my head, it's like, oh, but it'll come back, just stay in it. and I didn't get out when I was losing. And so what ended up happening is that I don't know if you want to call it bad luck or, good luck, because I learned very good lessons, but I mean, it fucking tanked on 3 trades, and I lost over $1,000 on each one. And that's because I ignored his first most important rule. All right. So if you are going to do penny stock trading and you're going to be listening to this guy, do what he says, follow his rules. All right. If you can do that and you're trading with real money, now, even if you are following his rules and all this stuff, when you first start out, don't expect to be profitable. All right. Start off small, a couple $100, maybe go up to $500 per trade, right? Don't go any higher than that. Because when you start investing $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in a single trade, you can lose a lot of money very, very quickly if you don't know what you're doing, okay? That's how I lost most of my money. Now, since that last loss, and this was a stock just absolutely tanked. Let me see if I can remember which one it was. Tops, I think it was. Is it not in there? Oh, right. Wait, no, here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, okay. So this was... God, this is just terrible. Okay. Now, I was in probably around in here, I think, right? Now, this graph doesn't... It's been adjusted. What this means is that this S here means that there was a split. So if you had 900 shares and it goes to a 1-to-30 split, that means that your 900 shares now become 30 shares, right? And what that is supposed to do, is supposed to inflate the price, and it makes it go up because now your 30 shares are condensed into 1 share. Now it should be worth 30 times the price, right? That didn't happen with this. So they went through this thing, and I think I was at $9. I was up here, and then after this split, it just fucking tanked. I lost so much freaking money on this, and then they went through. I don't know if they declared bankruptcy or something like that, and it just kept on tanking. And after all of this, I was still in, and I don't know, if I could go back and strangle myself or slap myself or something like that, I would probably do it because that was freaking stupid. But hindsight is 20/20. When I was in that moment when the stock was tanking, I was thinking, oh no, it'll come back. And then when it went through the split here, I was expecting the price to go up by the amount of the split. So I was expecting it to go back up so I would be about the same amount of money, but it never did. And it went up to like a quarter of what I thought it should have gone up to. So I lost so much money. But that's because I ignored his rules, right? So if you do want to try this and you want to listen to this guy, follow his rules, right? Listen to what he says. Start small, all right? If you don't want to deal with the heart palpitations of potentially winning or losing a lot of money, start with paper trading, all right? For me, I need to have that like all-in kind of mentality because that's how I learn best. When I was in the Marine Corps, I mean, that's how it was. Even in my job here, I mean, I dive headfirst into the most difficult freaking jobs that I can possibly find, and I learn a ton from it, right? Now, once again, you might not be able to do that because, once again, if you do this with your real money, I mean, that's real money that you're potentially losing, right? Not everyone can handle that. So so this would be the fourth option here. First option, build your own mining computers. Second option, buy hash power through Genesis mining. Third option, attempt to put on really good videos on YouTube. Fourth option, do penny stocks. Now, if you do penny stocks, I would follow this guy. All right, don't follow anyone else. Follow this guy. Now, something that I do want to point out here, this apply to work with me, it's not free, all right? If you want to work directly with him, it's going to cost you money, right? But by working directly with him and, spending your own money on top of whatever you pay to work with him, you can potentially make a lot of money, all right? He's got a few students already, and that's what he calls these people who work with him. He calls them his students. He actually has a few students who have made over $1 million just by doing what he does, right? Now, of the potentially thousands that apply to work with him and maybe get accepted, I don't know if it's thousands or hundreds or tens, whatever. Having 4 that have been really successful, it gives you an idea of the risk that's involved here, okay? You have to study your ass off, you have to follow his rules, and you have to have the time to do your research, right? Because penny stocks is all about research. I'm still trading penny stocks, but I'm not trading as often as I was before. 1, because I'm not putting in any additional money into it yet. I might in the future, I might not. And 2, I don't have time to do the research. With my job, and I'm actually an author too, so I've got 1 book out. I'm attempting to rewrite that book as well as writing a second book. I don't have the time. So this right here, I would have loved to do it. I just don't have the time. If I did have the time, and if I did have the money, would I do this? Absolutely, 100%. Like, no doubt in my mind. I would go with this and attempt to learn as much as I can from this guy because, he's done it. He has made this money. Now, this right here, this is just with penny stocks. He's also in a bunch of other stuff, so he's making money all over the fucking place. It's ridiculous. And that's one of the ways to become rich is to have multiple streams of income. So at my job, that's 1 stream of income. I trade my time for money. My time for money, my time for money. Money never increases or decreases unless I get a raise or get fired. The amount of time that I work never increases or decreases unless I take time off or I work overtime, right? And everything's proportional. So working a 40-hour per week job, it'll get you enough money to pay your bills. If you get a decent paying job like I've got, then you've got enough money to play around with other stuff. But you will never get rich working a 9-to-5 job. Guarantee it. So what you need to do is have multiple streams of income. And I've gone over 4 that you can potentially go with. So I think I will stop there. It's been a long video. This is actually the second take of the video because my first one kind of I didn't have the sound hooked up correctly, so I was talking, there was just no sound. Okay, so one last thing I want to go over, this right here, profit.ly, right? So this is Mr. Sykes. He's one of the gurus that go here. There's a bunch of stuff on here that you can go, so let's see. These are all just different people. So this guy made $90 profit. This guy lost a little bit of money. This guy made some money. This guy made $1. Looks like he lost 780 today. But if you go in here, you've got a lot of people that are putting down all of their trades, right? So what they make, what they don't make, and then in order to see, all of this stuff.
And I teach people to trade stock.
Shut up. Okay. I think he's a dick, so that's why but he knows what he's talking about, but he's a dick. All right, so let's see. I think I went with which one did I go with? Yeah, I think I went with this one. So I went with this for 1 month. I paid $150. There's a chat room in here where you can talk with a bunch of other people who are trading. They go over a bunch of different stocks that they're watching. Tim Sykes actually goes on there. Tim Grattani, one of his students, who's also made $4 million or something. He also posts in there every once in a while. So it's just a bunch of people like you, like me, who are just trying to figure this all out. And this one right here comes with over 4,400 video lessons. And these lessons, I'm telling you, are worth watching. A lot of them is the same information over and over and over and over again, but each situation is different. And it shows you how his rules and how his lessons can be applied to each of these different scenarios. So I would highly advise that if you do this, go with the silver, okay? They also have weekly video lessons, and these are actually really, really good too. I learned a lot from those. Once again, this right here, Tim's Challenge, to be a challenge student, it's going to cost you money. It's going to take a lot of time. You have to be available. If you are not available, they won't accept you into the challenge because you're not going to be able to keep up. All right? So even with this, it's going to cost money, but they're still looking out for you, okay? They're not going to make you pay a shit ton of money if they know that you're not going to be there to take full advantage of it, right? So if you're like me and you just kind of want to see what this is all about, I think $150 is worth the information that you will learn through this, all right? So, yeah, you can see students amount made over 16 million, so, yeah. So, if you do want to give this a try, just to learn, go with the silver. If you have the time and if you have the extra money, apply for the challenge. Like I said, if I had the money and if I had the time, I would absolutely do it. This right here, it's cheaper. Maybe you can learn, but it's really these video lessons and these weekly video lessons where you will learn the most, okay? So if you do want to try the penny stocking, go with this. Now, the question that you were probably asking yourself is, why do I want to spend $150 of my hard-earned money and just give it away to this guy so he can tell me a bunch of shit that I probably could figure out on my own? I was the same way. But you know what? The first thing before I even did this, I actually was reading watching one of his videos, and it was one that he had posted that day, and it showed the stock that he was looking at. And so just kind of on a whim, I took, I think it was like $150, $200 or whatever, and I invested in that stock that he was talking about, right? And then in the video, he kind of said, okay, this is where I think it's going to go. This is where I'm going to try to buy. This is where I'm going to try to sell. I'm going to try to make, however many % off of this sale. And, it was just kind of like a one-off thing that I wanted to try just to see if he was, I could have just watched the stock and see if he did it, but I wanted to invest just to get that, the emotions there. And sure enough, stock did just about exactly what he said that he was going to do, and I made money. After that, I'm like, okay, well, if he's right on this, then maybe it would be worth, digging a little bit deeper. So, once again, you don't have to do this. If you want to try to do this, go with Tim Sykes, all right? I've seen a bunch of other people who, they've got a lot of talk, they've got lessons, blah, 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 follow this, do this, buy this stock and sell it this, but one of the risks in penny stock trading is when people ramp up a stock falsely. So let's say that there's a penny stock that's worth $1 a share, right? One of these gurus, right, they will buy 500,000 shares of that stock, right? Which then makes the price skyrocket, right? And then what they'll do, without saying, hey, I bought these 500,000 shares, whatever, they will say, oh, hey, look at this stock. It's going so well. And so when that happens and people see it because it's already gone up, then they all buy into it, right? And then which then makes it go up even higher. And then what this guy does when everyone is buying into it, he's selling. So he's making a shit ton of money, and everyone else who's buying into it, if they're not fast enough, they are losing all of their money. What that is called is a pump and dump. It's where you pump the stock up, and then as soon as you get other people buying into it, that's when you dump all of your stocks and you leave them with the baggage, right? So that is what I've seen other people do. Now, if you go here with this guy, Tim Sykes, and you go into his, buy his lessons here, he posts every single one of his trades here. Every single one, whether it's a profit, whether it's a loss, it doesn't matter. Every single one he posts here. You can see every single one. And then a bunch of other people, like, so this guy bought DRNA, made $170 profit. This probably is going to tell me to join up or something like that. This guy right here bought ECYT, made $80. This guy bought SNCR, made $1. Now, Tim Sykes doesn't win all the time, but he cuts his losses, and like you can even see here, like he goes into it. Entry comments, reshorted has had a big intraday crash and solidified on its drop in the day. Goal is to make 30 to 60 cents per share on further dropping. SSR now in place, so it'll be tougher to short, hence why I'm chasing this down a little to ensure that I get the short before a probable bigger drop. The exit comments, it's a tricky stock, so it just spiked up. Now, when you're shorting a stock, you are betting that the stock is going to go down, right? So this is something that you will learn if you go through here and you learn about, penny stock trading, okay? So he was shorting a stock. Instead of going down, it went up. So as a stock goes up, if you're shorting, you actually lose money, okay? So then when it went up a little bit, he sold out, he bought to cover is what it's called when you're shorting. And he ended up making, now this is actually a small, very small loss compared to the amount of money that he's investing. So, and then there's just a ton of these. And then he posts these every single day, every single trade that he makes. They're all on here, along with all these other people, so if you want to try this, if you're not into the buying your own computers and mining off of them, or going to Genesis Mining and buying their computer power, or if you're not into YouTube and doing all of this, if you still want to make money relatively quickly with moderate to high risk, I'm not going to lie, it's moderate to high risk with penny stocks, go here, follow Tim Sykes, okay? That's the guy that you're going to want to follow. So with that, I don't know, I've got a bunch of stuff here. I think that'll cover everything that I want to cover for this video. So I'll cut it off here, and I will see you guys next video. All right? See ya.